Hi, this is Dr. Abdul, Physiotherapist. Welcome to my channel. Human anatomy, bone morphology. Bone tissue is organized into a variety of shapes and configurations adapted to the function of each bone. Let's see what are there. Broad flat plates like bone such as shoulder bone serve as anchors for large muscle masses, and some flat bones such as skull and chest bone serve as protection for internal organ, while hollow thick wall tubes like bones such as limb bones support weight or serve as a lever mechanism for movement, and a small and irregular bone such as spine and wrist or ankle bones serves as spring mechanism or for shock absorbers. Let's see the gross anatomy of a bone. It's diaphysis, epiphysis, metaphysis, epiphyseal plate. Let's see what are they one by one. Diaphysis, the tubular shaft that runs between the proximal and distal ends of long bone, and it is made up of compact bone tissue, and the internal hollow region in the diaphysis is called the medullary cavity, which is filled with yellow bone marrow. Epiphysis is the wider section at each end of the bone is called epiphysis, which is filled with spongy bone tissue. Red bone marrow fills that space in the spongy bone tissue. Metaphysis, it is the area where each epiphysis meets the diaphysis, called metaphysis. Epiphyseal plate, the narrow area that contains growth plate, a layer of hyaline cartilage in a growing bone. Bone tissues. Primarily, there are three types of bone tissues: compact bone tissue, spongy bone tissue, subchondral bone tissue. Let's see one by one. Compact bone tissue is nothing but form the extremely hard outside layer of bones, also called as cortical bone tissue, gives a bone its smooth, dense, solid appearance, and it accounts for about 80% of total bone mass of the adult skeleton. Spongy bone tissue fills the part or all the interior of many bones, as its name suggests. Spongy bone is porous like sponge, containing an irregular network of spaces. This makes spongy bone much less dense than compact bone, and spongy bone has greater surface area than cortical bone, but makes up only 20% of bone mass in adult skeleton. Subchondral bone tissue, this is the smooth tissue at the ends of bones, which is covered with another type of tissue called cartilage. Cartilage is specialized rubbery connective tissue, helps in the smooth gliding movement in the joint. Other bone tissues are nothing but periosteum, endosteum, and bone marrow. Let's see one by one what are they. Periosteum. The tough thin outer membrane covering the bones is called periosteum, which gives characteristic smooth appearance to long bones. Endosteum. Similarly, the tough thin inner membrane covering the bone is called endosteum, and the bone marrow is nothing but a soft connective tissue that is found inside the cavity called the medullary cavity. And there are two types of marrow in adults: yellow bone marrow, which consists mostly the fat, and red bone marrow, which consists of hematopoietic stem cells that give rise to different blood cells in body. Functions of bone. Protection, such as skull and vertebral column protects the brain and spinal cord. Ribs protect thoracic and upper abdominal organs. Support, provides support for all vital structures in body and helps in forming posture. Movement, provides attachment for muscles, tendons, ligament, and acts as a lever mechanism to produce various movements in body. Storage. Yes, the bone is a storage house of important mineral in body, that is calcium. Factory. Yes, bone is a factory for blood forming cells and give rises to the three important blood cells that are RBC, red blood cells, WBC, white blood cells, and platelets. Thanks for watching. Follow me at YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and for any business related inquiry, contact me at dr.abdul.pt@gmail.com.